Okay, and we are live on both.
Hello everybody, and welcome to week number 12 on our hashtag Cook the State series. Today we are doing Illinois, and the vote today was between Italian beef sandwich or apple fritters. And apple fritters went out. I think like 67% to 33. So we are doing apple fritters today. And today I am pleased to say that we're going to be joined, I believe, by a friend of ours.
Yep, she's in already.
Excellent. Susie Chow, who is Carpe Diem traveler, and somebody that we met virtually and then met recently in Chicago and had a wonderful dinner together. And she's a great person. We got along right away because she's so generous and giving with all the information that she has and everything. So we were, it was just really nice to finally meet her in the flesh. So she agreed to join us today because she lives in Chicago. And today's meal is an Illinois, or not meal, but today's dish is an Illinois dish. And we wanted to have an authentic, even though she's from Ohio, which we did last week, the Buckeye State. She is going to join us to talk about, I guess, what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong.
Yeah, to see if we're doing it right. Yeah, so if you want to request Susie, I will add you in when you're ready.
I'm
just getting your last little bits.
Checking my temperature.
So why don't you show us what we have?
Okay, so we are making the apple fritters. So of course we need apples, which I have chopped up here conveniently. We have...
Can you hear the air raid sirens?
Yes, and we're having air raid sirens go off right now because every day at 6 o'clock, 6 p.m., which it is here, we have to go under curfew because of the coronavirus. So we are under curfew from 6 at night until 10 in the morning.
We can't really go out really between 10 and 6, though.
I mean, we can go out and get food and things like that, but we can't like go
one at a time.
Do things. Yeah, exactly. So we every night get to hear these air raid sirens. And as I've said, I'm glad to hear the air raid sirens under these circumstances because the last time I heard air raid sirens here when I was a kid, it was because there was a shooting war, and that's much more terrifying. So this is, at least we're sort of stuck and we can cook and talk to our friends and stuff, so it's not so bad. All right. So I am going to go ahead and get started with, I have my quarantini here.
It's the only way to get through it.
The only way to get through the quarantine and curfews. So we're starting off with a cup and a half of flour.
Hey, Susie is in.
Hi, Susie.
Hello.
And thank you for joining us.
Yes, I'm excited to be here.
We're excited to have you, and you can tell us from your perspective whether we're doing this right or not. If you know the recipe.
I was just joking with my husband. I've never made this in my life. So you're doing way better than I would, that's for sure.
The perfect guest. You see, we're doing it right every turn.
Spot on.
Excellent. That was the one thing that I was disappointed by, was that we didn't meet Jan when we were there, because I feel like we sort of know him because we see him so often on your feed. But maybe one of these
I'd be
days.
able to invite him in.
All right, so we've started with our flour. I'm going to put a little bit of salt, like half a teaspoon. Tablespoon of sugar. Going in there. How long have you lived in Illinois?
It'll be almost 16 years.
Wow.
So quite a bit of time. I would consider myself local by now.
Totally.
So even though I'm not native to the state, I've still spent quite a chunk of my life here. So, and I love Chicago. It's a great city. I'm happy to share more, especially if people have questions, as they join.
Absolutely. So we've got on Facebook as well. We're live on Facebook. So if you guys have any questions, drop them in.
Absolutely. And Susie also, just to let people know, she does this really cool thing where she helps you figure out how to take a sabbatical in your life from work and travel and do something really cool, which I think a lot more people Well, I think a lot of people are very excited about doing that, and maybe more people are starting to do it. And then probably, and you would know, Susie, people are probably nervous about doing this.
Yeah, it's a big commitment to take, and how I define a sabbatical, just to level set, is a month or longer off of work. And I advocate to travel using that time. I think that there's a lot of things that you need to prepare for and consider before doing that goes above and beyond just planning a normal trip. So I help people step through that process personally, professionally, even financially, helping people figure out how to make the dollars and cents work, and mentally too, to make sure that they're getting the most out of that experience.
What is one of the things that people wouldn't think about in terms of, because like you said, I mean, it's more than just planning a trip, and that's what I think most people would be like, oh, okay, I'll just go from here to, I mean, what is one of the things that would be an unusual aspect?
I really advocate for being intentional with using that time more so than a vacation. I would say a vacation, most people they want to rest, relax, that's awesome. But when you have a month or longer, you can really dig in and do something deeper, something that really fulfills you at that core level that, maybe it's a dream that you have just been putting off, or, you decided, okay, I don't want to wait until I retire to do this. And it's an opportunity, it's really a gift that you're giving yourself to be able to take that time and use it in a way that is going to really enrich your life, outside of the basic touring, which is always great. I mean, I love that too, but I help people think through what's going to really energize them the most.
That's cool. Yeah, as I told you, one of my places I want to go is to Antarctica. I might not spend a month there, but I would like to. I would definitely like to visit.
So I just going to say...
Just adding some milk. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, on Facebook here, Rosa says, hello, Chef.
Hello.
And Michael says, good morning, Chef, from Florida.
Good morning, Michael. Is that the same Michael who was making fataya glass? Mm-hmm. How did they turn out?
Have to let you know.
Yeah, have to let us know.
What did you just put in? Egg?
I just put in two eggs that are... that were whisked a little bit, and I put a little bit of oil and some, milk. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix this up, make a batter out of it.
So do you get to cook much, Susie?
Well, quarantine, I'm cooking like crazy. I just made, this morning, a little egg dish that is in muffin tins. So it's super basic, just eggs, Roma tomatoes, spinach, feta cheese, salt and pepper, and we got a little fancy and used some bacon to line the muffin trays in. So it was very tasty.
Sounds to me like you're a real cook, because you're like, oh, just a little something, and then you say all these things. Sounds very fancy.
I'm glad I come off that way. That is far from the truth. But, it's all about practice.
It's all about practice. Just rearranging the oil over here.
I'm not getting too hot there. Okay, so now I have my little bit of batter there, and I'm going to put in 3 cups of apple that's been chopped.
So do you know where these come from? Why are they famous in Illinois?
I think they are sort of a Midwestern thing, because I know that Midwesterners like their... My mother's from Michigan, so I know that Midwesterners like their pastries and things like that. And
fried things, love it.
Exactly.
It reminds me a lot of state fairs. So that's something that's very popular in the U.S., especially in the summer, to go to a state fair, and you can get fried anything there.
Oh my God.
This would fit very much in that category.
Oh, that sounds so good. I'm having such cravings at the moment. Now we're in quarantine. There's like some things which we've like run out of, which you just don't even think about, and you're like, God, what I would give for that right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
I thought you were making crisps.
Oh yeah, the crisps were actually quite good. They came out quite nice. So we're just
Yeah, and then we made potato chips last night. So.
Nice.
All right, so now I'm going to fry these.
okay. Ooh,
And-
hang on, I need to come around.
What I like to do a lot of these things is just by using an ice cream scooper, because it gives you a uniform amount to put in. I'm just hoping.
Good tip.
And it's, you can get scoopers in different sizes, so it kind of depends on what you like in terms of the helping or the size of what it is you're making. And that way, see, they just kind of go
Oh,
in
wow.
there, and then they spread out a little bit, but they sort of stay in that shape.
What kind of oil is that?
That is just vegetable oil.
Okay.
It's a blend of canola and sunflower oil in this case, that I had mixed up already together, because I use it a lot for a lot of the frying I do for things like falafel and things like that when I'm making Middle Eastern food.
Which we had for breakfast this morning, which was very good.
So these are going to take about 5 minutes.
Well, in the meantime, Michael
Hopefully.
came back to answer your question,
Uh-huh.
and he said that they tasted great, but not much to look at. Next time he'll do better.
Well, cooking is all about practice, and that's the nice thing about it, because you get to eat the same thing over and over, and if you like it, then it makes it even better. So just
Ooh,
keep
they
working
just like
at
puff straight up, don't they?
it. Yeah, well, there's baking powder in there, so that gives them the...
Oh, look at that one. It's
Let's
self-rolling as well.
I know,
apple
self-rolling.
fritters.
I'm impressed. Did that on purpose. There's made a self-rolling one.
Jane Shakespeare is watching
Hello, Jane.
on Facebook.
So, Susie, how is it going otherwise with everything in your life now?
Good. Well, professionally, so I'm a travel advisor, and the travel industry obviously got hit pretty hard with the coronavirus.
Right.
So, I really, the last couple weeks have just been helping clients to either get home. So I had one client, a couple that was in Spain when they announced the lockdown, and the
Oof.
U.S. announced the travel restrictions between Europe and the U.S. So that was a stressful time, but they're home safe and sound,
Great.
and really just helping people that have future trips booked and trying to help them figure out, do they want to continue, do they want to reschedule? So much is up in the air right now.
Mhm.
We don't have any timelines to work with. It's anybody's guess.
Mm-hmm.
But I think ultimately it comes down to, the individual and what's right for them in their situation.
Right.
Because this is impacting people in so many different ways, so many different industries, and, their personal situations, and potential abilities to travel have changed, and that's all something that needs to be a part of the decision-making process. So that's personally or professionally, and personally, I'm 6 months pregnant, so I'm just taking some extra precautions to stay safe, stay healthy, but I'm feeling good, and excited to meet our little one, but I'm hoping that he stays put for as long as possible.
Right. Yeah, well, it's great. It's so nice to see. I mean, when we saw you, you told us, and you hadn't quite changed shape yet, but I've noticed that you have changed shape, so that's good.
I mean, I would say I like topped, quote unquote, maybe 17, like kind of late,
Uh-huh.
but it's been nonstop since then. So definitely looking and feeling much more pregnant now.
Well, that's great. Yeah, I mean, it is a strange time for sure, and I know that professionally it has to be tough. But I mean, these are the times people will say, "Why should I have a travel agent?" Or I can do all these things. And this is precisely why, because things don't always go the way you expect, especially when you're traveling. And so, this is why.
Yeah.
Humans. I mean, I've that you just can't get when you book online.
Right.
So that's been, I think, exciting. I mean, a silver lining to be able to highlight to people that people really understand.
Right.
But I'm looking at it, again, I always like to take the optimistic approach, and looking at it as an opportunity to make some lemonade out of lemons and see how I can serve people when they're stuck inside and they can't get that travel fix that they want.
Right.
I mean, for some of us, myself included, like, we just identify as travelers, and all of a sudden it's like, nope, you can't do that anymore. That freedom is taken away from you.
Right.
I mean, really, it's a privilege, but we just take it for granted so much.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
so I'm working on a little something to help people get that travel fix from home.
Cool.
That would be nice.
So I'm
Yeah.
excited. I had the idea earlier this week, and so I'm just kind of noodling on that and
Great.
starting to develop some things. So
Well, we look-
that'll be exciting to share. I'll have more, I think, hopefully this upcoming week.
Yeah, well, we look forward to it. That'll be
think-
interesting to see.
We need it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Plus, I think it'll be very interesting coming out of this because obviously people like to travel and there's, a huge industry built around travel and all that. So it'll be very, very interesting. And I think having a professional like you is, very helpful for people when you're coming out of something like this that's unprecedented where you can help them, figure out the best way forward. So we grab this tray. Okay.
Those look so good.
Oh my
I
goodness.
wish I could reach through the screen and have one.
Let's
This is the
hope
only
they
problem
are.
about doing if you're sharing Instagram Live with somebody in a different country.
Yes, it's
You
true.
can't, it's just torture. We're just like, hey, look at all this great food, but you guys can't.
Okay, there's that.
So surely we have to let that cool for a little
Yes,
bit.
need to let it cool for just
So,
a few
Does that
minutes.
like go in powdered sugar or anything, or am I? It looks like a donut.
You could, yeah. I mean, there's different ways of doing it. One is to like roll it in sugar and cinnamon. What I'm going to do today is I made just a very basic icing. This is essentially a cup of powdered sugar with just a little bit, about half a teaspoon of vanilla, and then a couple tablespoons of milk. And what that does is it just gives you that nice glazy, this kind of thing that goes on a lot of pastries. So I'll let this cool just a little bit, and then we will glaze these. And
Excellent.
hopefully they'll be tasty. That's the
You're taste testing today.
yes.
We take turns testing. I have to make sure, Susie, that he's not fibbing about how good the things taste. So
We had to, yeah. The only problem with quarantine is you end up gaining a lot of weight because,
Oh, my goodness.
especially with us and the food around all the time, and you're trying this and that. So.
I was just joking with friends last night that it's a great time to be pregnant because I have to gain weight anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm saying that we're doing this in case a famine comes and we'll be covered for a while.
You guys are set, absolutely.
All right, let's see here if we can.
right.
So I'm just gonna.
I gotta try and get that shot.
Oh, that looks so delicious.
Oh my goodness.
Just.
Oof.
All right.
American fried goodness, right? Covered in sugar.
Doesn't get better than that. Let me grab a little plate.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
That's pretty good as well. There's not too many ingredients. I think that's been the biggest challenge with quarantine recipes.
Yeah.
Make sure not to use too much.
Also, being
How
in
are
a
your supermarkets? Are they...
Well,
closed mostly.
they're closed mostly. We have small supermarkets which can open, and then the large supermarkets just started. They were open for delivery only yesterday. But
It's very donutty in the middle.
oh, it does look like a donut.
Yum.
Sounds good. Well, you have to take my word
Yeah,
for it.
most of our...
Sorry, go ahead.
Most of our, I was just going to say, most of our supermarkets are, well, they're all pretty much open. There was a big rush, when people first started going into quarantine and, of course, hoarding, even
a funny thing because I think people start to relax when they see, this is what they have to do is just kind of keep resupplying the shelves. People then feel like, okay, we're not gonna starve or something. But here they sort of had, on and off things, and so, there was for a while a few days of just total curfew, couldn't go out at all for a few days, and then they started letting people out, and then, so it's just been, people got a little panicky, but now they're going to stores and they're seeing, well, actually there's food, so it's okay. We also have the additional challenge of sometimes it's hard to find the products just because, they might not be things that are popular over here that are very American or something.
Like
for a particular state.
we made lobster roll a few weeks ago, but there's just nowhere you can find lobster here. So we had to use crab, and we couldn't find crab, so we had to use imitation crab.
So, we do what we can, but that's how it is about traveling the world as well, is that, one of the nice things is that you leave behind what you know and you make do with something new. So we enjoy that.
Absolutely.
So, well, I really appreciate you joining us today, and I hope that was fun for you. Certainly, the fact that you said I did everything right here was very good, and I'm. We will be back next week for week 13, which is going to be Oregon, and we're actually going to be joined by another special guest who is Raj, who is Pink Chai, and she lives in Vancouver. And we met her at a conference in Alaska. So she'll be joining us, and we'll be doing Oregon next week. Thank you again, everybody. Susie, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you being involved. And we will stay in touch, and you guys be well, and we'll talk to you all soon.
Yes, you too.
Bye.
Thanks, Susie. Bye.
Have a good one.
You too.
Okay, hang on. I have to just...